Really excited about the way the guys came out of halftime, and I thought, put it all together in terms of what we were trying to do on the defensive end and the offensive end. Georgetown's a Big East team with Big East players. Primo Spears, Wahab, a cook. They're good Big East players, and they're capable. And I thought in the first half, our guys did a lot of really good things, but we were missing a little bit of the connective tissue that allows us to be great on the defensive end, and therefore we didn't make them miss enough. They shot 54% from the field. And then on our offensive end, we didn't have as good of a shooting half, shooting 42%, missing some threes, missing some shots around the basket, and the end result of that is a 2-point deficit at the half. I didn't think we played bad. I thought we needed to ramp it up in some areas, and the guys did that in the second half.
This is the third straight game where everything is clicked into gear after halftime. What do you think needs to change so you guys get the full 40 minutes?
We don't really look at it from the standpoint of first half versus second half as much as just trying to be our best in the current moment. And the other team has something to do with that. I mean, we're playing Big East teams with Big East players. We, many times as a team, have talked about the advantages that we have as a group, Marquette men's basketball, that we can bring to the court anytime that we take the floor. And we can press those advantages. And I think when that's at the front of our mind, we're really good. And our guys go do some great things. I think when we get away from that, we get down about certain things, or we get our minds clouded by certain things, then we're not as good. And we're in a category with a whole lot of other people. We're not that talented that we can just be any kind of way. We've got to be our way.
Last 4 games, Tyler, 39 assists, 3 turnovers. Why does he reach such a level of mastery in this offense?
He's doing a good job. Teams playing him different ways. He's doing a good job reading the defense. I still would love to see him shoot the ball more because he's a good shooter. And I can promise you this. I mean, there's going to be teams that play him when he has the ball because he's spraying it around so well to make him shoot because he's just so good at finding teammates. But, he puts a lot of time in. He puts a lot of work in. He's very diligent about watching tape, about working on the different components of his offensive game. And you can see that out there. He looks very prepared. He looks like a guy that knows what he's doing and knows what the other team's going to do and then is ready to respond.
Your starting lineup, analytically, that unit's one of the best in the country. What are the skills of those different guys that blend together to make that such a potent unit? Well,
I've said this a couple of times. The goal of any team is for the whole to be greater than the sum of the parts. We were picked 9th this year because the coaches in our league, the media that follows our league, felt like, we had 9th place parts. And I'm included in that. Players, program, head coach. And when, as a group, you're able to make the whole greater than the sum of the parts, eventually it reflects on the parts. And so now, all of a sudden, people may say, wow, look at Oso, look at Omax, look what Tyler's doing. Yeah, because those guys are connected and playing together. But that is not something you take for granted or you can put a check in the box. It's something you have to work on every day. Phil Jackson said teamwork is an ephemeral thing. It's as ethereal as love disappearing with the latest insult. There's a mouthful. And he was talking about his Lakers team. And so we've got to work at it every day and continue to press our advantages.
You had mentioned following the Baylor game that the little number that was the side of the Bears, that high ranking, meant a lot to your guys and was a challenge to them coming in. UConn might not be ranked 4th next week because they did lose earlier this week, but do you expect that same kind of energy and passion coming in, knowing that they have a top-ranked team coming in here?
We don't have a choice. I mean, if we don't bring energy and passion, you're not beating a team like that. So there's a level of respect for what goes into winning, regardless of the opponent, that you have to bring in order to win a game like today. And then when you go into a game like Wednesday, where a team is going to test you in a variety of different ways, that respect needs to be even more heightened. But along with that, there needs to be a level of confidence that, hey, we can do it. So that's a double-edged sword. But certainly very, very excited, to play a team of that caliber coming in here Wednesday night. And our fans were awesome today. It was a great atmosphere. It's just so much fun to be in the building on days like today. So I encourage everybody. And Wednesday night's going to be an exciting game. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch a college basketball game. I believe we start the game earlier than normal weeknights. So come see us. Be loud. It means the world to us.
You've thought about basketball a long time. The passing ability and vision of Tyler and Oso, do you think that's inherent? Do you think that's honed over the years? Where do you think that comes from?
I think both. It's both. I think those guys have a natural vision about them, but they also, through experience, have learned plays, and they've learned reads and they've learned reactions. One thing that's hugely different from the NBA to college is in the NBA, a guy like Russell Westbrook, a guy like Chris Paul, those guys have literally come off 10,000, 20,000 pick and rolls, literally, maybe more. And there's only so many ways the defense can guard it. Well, in college, a guy like Sean Jones, he's coming off in his career, 30, 40, 50 pick and rolls total. And Tyler and Oso have gotten to a point, because they've been intentional, they are starting to be able to use the experience that they have, and also through watching video of other guys, and they're starting to kind of stack understanding. And they're doing a good job, staying committed to, hey, this is the right way to play. I don't take that for granted, because not everybody does that. And I think it's really contagious for our team.
The 3 freshmen all had their moments today. Tyler said that this was probably Ben Gold's best game of his freshman season. What did you see out of those 3 guys?
I love those guys. And, Benny Gold, I like how the crowd reacts to him. How about that? It's awesome. Like, they clearly like him, which how can you not? But, right now, he doesn't know how good he can be. And so after every game, I send him a highlight tape from the season. And then we'll add on to it. So like today, we'll add his highlights from today. Not just offensive, but like he had some good rebounds, some good plays in the defensive end. We'll add that. And I send it to him. It's like, man, you're growing, you're improving. Because I think a guy like that, and remember, he had the freshman adjustment, but also the international adjustment. As much as anything, it's about knowing you can do it and having a level of confidence and belief in yourself when you go in the game. Sometimes as a freshman, there's a feeling that the game is above you. And I'm not talking about him specifically, but I'm talking about a lot of freshmen out there in certain moments, in certain games, particularly when you go on the road. And those guys, all 3 of them, have done a good job just going and playing with aggressiveness. And as my wife says, in the absence of complete confidence, fight. If you're not feeling like you're the best player out there, you can at least fight. And those guys are getting better at that. That's it. Thanks. Thank you.